Thank you. I'm going to be in charge of this and the message. I hope I can do two things at one time, right? Thank you for having me and allowing me to speak today. It's really my pleasure to be here. It's nice to see everybody. It's quite full this morning, and I'm so excited and probably shaking a lot inside and outside, but I'm really excited to be here. Okay, let's see if I can do this. All right. She just said point and click. There it is. Okay. So we're going to take a few minutes to get quiet and have a little me time and with the source. And this is our little short meditation before we start. If you will get comfortable in your chairs, close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. We'll see if this works. Are we on, Marcus? There it is. Okay, so just a little sound bath for you as well as some words. We're going to allow ourselves to sink into our chairs, release the muscles in our face and in our bodies, become relaxed, and allow Spirit to move in and around and through us. From the point of light within the mind of God, let the light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let the purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. And from the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out. And may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Amen. Now feel the light within yourself. It is centered in your mind, your brain. It's that point of light between the eyebrows. And it can inform your whole body. We are light. This is Spirit. This is Spirit in you. Allow the light to expand and fill your body. Allow the sensation to quiet the mind. Just for a few minutes, allow Spirit to reside. I am one. I am one with the Father. I am that I am. Myself as a physical being is the resident of the Spirit. It is our presence in the world that we see. But Spirit calls us to see with our inner eyes and to hear with our inner ears, allowing it to inform us and guide us and have a loving relationship with us, as that is what is needed and wanted. Feel the presence. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Now bring your focus of attention back to your body. Feel your hands and your feet. Move your shoulders. Come back into the room. And when you're ready, open your eyes, and we will return. We say thank you, thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Source. Thank you for all that is. And so it is. That was nice, wasn't it? Okay, I have to apologize in front of my speech or my talk. It might get a little long, but I hope I can hold your attention and let you get out of here in time. I know time is always a thing. Anyway, I have a lot to say. So when Judy asked me to speak to you, I knew right away what my message was going to be. The words higher ground started playing in my head, and this is a song. This was written by Stevie Wonder, and it was recorded on his album in 1973, Inner Visions. It speaks about reincarnation, which means moving to a higher consciousness. And so that's the theme of my talk today. Let's see if we get the slide up here. A call from the Creator, raising your consciousness. I would like to say also that depending on where you are, truth for you can't simply be just words out of my mouth. You have to ask your own questions, and you have to seek the answers for yourself. For me, that means going into meditation, allowing Spirit to speak to me through my day and in the quiet. So take these ideas just as potentiality, seed ideas, if you will, and know that change is difficult, and it requires perseverance and dedication. You will be tested if you wish to change. Those things which have been with you all your life will come to the surface again. So just know this going ahead. All spiritual development increases vibrational frequency and awakens innate psychic abilities. So just know these things going forward. I started to meditate daily about 6 years ago, but I had no idea what to expect. I knew it would involve change. My spiritual journey from that point had not been satisfying. I knew I had to do something different. The quest that started a fire burning in me and brought me to a source of information that I was seeking in esoteric philosophy and science. This is a study of the science of the soul, which provides insight into the synthetic nature of the energies and forces behind the phenomenal world, our world, the thing we call real. It shares the same principles with unity. So, in order to do this, make sure we got this, here are some steps you can take. Number 1, purifying the body by clearing any energetic impediments. Daily meditation using your imagination. Developing the inner ear to be able to hear clearly the still, small voice, the universal mind. Right thought, mind, control. Of course, obstacles would be everything that's not that. Albert Einstein said, well, let me just preface that by saying he was a student of theosophy and the esoteric sciences. He said everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics. So let us for a moment think about this from a different perspective, one that is not our normal state of mind. As everything in it is energy, as is light, we are in reality a perfect balance of material, the physical and the non-physical or spiritual. We move about in this 3D plane, misunderstanding our true nature and under the spell of duality. Thought patterns that have shaped our world, our old Piscean energy requires duality. It is clashing up against the energy of the Aquarian age, our new age, whose values are love, brotherhood, unity, etc., the Christ principle. And this clash of energies, we see it every day playing out in the dark and light, in the media. So duality. Duality is part of the divine plan. It came into being when we came into being. It divides. It is endless desire and a false sense of self. And it's worth ending in greed for money, power, all those things, self-centeredness, etc. But however, there is a conundrum about duality. It also gives rise in man his false identity, but it also is a means in which man can raise his consciousness. Mankind, in his limited era thinking, understands his existence as an independent entity with exclusive experiential dependence on our 5 senses as a means of interpreting life, instead of as a spiritual being, intricately a part of the whole. This struggle for the heart and soul of mankind will continue until a higher consciousness, individually and collectively, becomes dominant, and the old energies are spent, burnt up, and transmuted. Where does it start? It starts right here at the heart. With this understanding, how then do we move from our physical to our spiritual self? Well, from an evolutionary point of view, we humans have reached the zenith of our physicality for sure. All you have to do is look at the Olympics and you can see that in play. Our emotional bodies and our minds are yet still underdeveloped. And as Reverend Judy speaks to us through the heart, I am speaking to your mind through the heart. Even with advances in science and medicine, there is still little understanding of the working of the mind and the brain and consciousness, although it's coming. The development of our minds to their full potential in tandem with our divinity becomes the focus of this work. And the work I'm speaking of is referred to by the esoterics as the plan. And I was in that invocation, you heard the words, the plan. This is each human working with the tools and gifts that they have to develop themselves to their highest state through study and meditation, and not for selfish reasons, but in service to the advancement and upliftment of all humanity. Come on, there you go. So as described prior, preparation work needs to be done to begin the process systematically. Purification of the physical, emotional, and mental body by clearing out emotional traumas is necessary, as just as you cannot get good light through a dirty light bulb, you will not get the same for soul expression. The vessel, what we call this body, has to be clear. And I don't know about you, but I have never met a person that didn't have some type of trauma. We have been born into trauma, and it is top of mind, and it's also being portrayed in the media in large ways. So I took this first step through a series of sessions with an energy healer who was able to remove blockages and traumas, some of them which I didn't know. I was aware of some, but many that came up that I was unaware of. And how did I know that it worked? For one, I was able to physically feel the energy moving up and out of my body. And the goal of this type of work is to remove emotional charge from the memory, not necessarily the memory. Is it one time and done? No. Clearing our emotional body is like peeling an onion. It must be done layer by layer, slowly and methodically. And energy healers are available to help, and I highly recommend their work. Again, daily meditation, it's necessary. It's an essential key to raising vibration and consciousness, along with imagination, which is integral to the practice. When employed, imagination is the brain's way of sending energy to a thought. And as we know, thoughts are things, then these are physical things in their own right and realm and can be brought into service. For me, that meant creating an image in my brain to focus my attention around specifically the pineal gland, which I referred to earlier, right between your eyebrows, in the middle of your brain, the energy center of the third eye. In this way, it has helped to keep my thoughts quiet and focus the energy on the light, which is in the mind. Remember, the brain makes no differentiation between what the eye sees in the world and an image that you create. Both are real and can be interacted with. When you employ imagination, this is the first step towards manifestation, the manipulation of energy. The next step in preparation for this work is quieting the emotional body, what we call our animal nature. This has to do with controlling your emotional responses to anything that causes stress. As I mentioned earlier about emotional trauma, this is where it presents itself in your life. Here is where your emotional triggers are, and the hard work of introspection begins. What is the story I tell of myself and my life? What experiences have happened over and over and over for me? What is my self-talk? How would I describe my relationships? Are my painful memories, regrets, and feelings of guilt that which I speak of and think of? What sets me off emotionally? What do I believe about myself? All of these and more. Gathering this information gives us a starting point to begin the process of self-study, the precursor for change. We can acknowledge what we call the ego, which is the activity of the left brain in the physical, and which directs us by way of emotions. It is the carrier of all the old energy that we carry around with us, and which we call real, and what holds us back from our higher self. It sends subtle messages of fear, anger, regret, shame, judgment, etc., and has been our informer for a long period of our lives. So what am I proposing? I'm proposing a shift away from this voice to the voice of the higher one, which is within you and so dearly loves you and wants the very best for you. It starts at the heart. It joins with the head. This is mind conditioning, and it takes a great deal of patience, will, honesty, and perseverance. Resistance to what is causes suffering, and is one of humanity's biggest challenges. Here's how it works in practice. Catch yourself when you're having a stressful thought or memory and detach. Catch yourself when you're having a disagreement with someone and detach. When you are in a heightened emotional state, your brain is awash in cortisol, the stress hormone. Your mind becomes hijacked and logic goes out the window. You've all been there, I'm sure. Catch yourself when you hear something in the media or overhear a conversation which causes resistance in you, and detach. And what do I mean by detach? To me, it means to be on neutral ground. In Buddhism, it's called the middle way. In practice, it means to use your mind to diffuse a confrontation or a difficult situation. It means quieting the emotions that in most non-threatening situations are of no real consequence. I'm talking about everyday mind activity spent in past stressful memories or future worries, and dialogue between yourself and another person. My personal go-to for these kinds of experiences is what I learned in my training in Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian practice of harmlessness. The words are, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. Again, this is the practice of harmlessness. Always choose harmlessness and non-judgment. And did I mention that this was not easy and requires a lot of discipline? Also, do you hear the words of inspiration each Sunday and then go your way and just carry on life as usual and find yourself slipping into habits of complaining, giving your friends and family your list of physical, emotional worries and so forth? We must, as Reverend Judy says, we must walk the talk. Otherwise, we should just all go home and play video games or something. Okay. Let's see. All right, come on. She told me she changed the battery, but it ain't working. Janet, come on, Janet. There we go. Okay. So every thought we have and every word we speak has an energetic effect on ourselves and on the collective consciousness. Remember, even down to the cells of your body. Taking an attitude of the observer, the silent watcher of your thoughts, takes you off autopilot. Allow spirit to move in and be more active in you by way of impressions, pictures, even words. You will become more psychically attuned. So holding the attitude of the observer during your waking state, experience yourself not as your body, but as your spiritual being that you are, will give you a newer, higher perspective, allowing you to disengage from mindless and destructive thought patterns. Moment by moment, you will become aware of how your thoughts are shaping your experiences. As you use your mind to quiet the emotional body, your state of awareness increases, and so too your level of consciousness. This is described by Eckhart Tolle as being in the now. And two, know this, as you welcome change into your life, again, you will be challenged. For each energetic increase in your being will come a reciprocal energy. The old stuff will test you and help you to choose over and over again for what you say you want. It is only when you no longer feel the resistance in your body for that which is used to cause an emotional reaction, a resistance from the past, can you know that you have conquered it at some level and are slowly changing. And you are coming under the rule of soul. This is nothing short of mind conditioning and creating new inner habits. As St. Paul said, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Use your imagination to create the space in you for engaging the heart center, seeing your light and the creative force in everything in nature. And it goes without saying, again, daily meditation, even 10 to 15 minutes a day. It's necessary, and it's such a healing practice. It is from the space that we can begin to hear the voice of spirit in our waking as in our dream state. Ask yourself, how am I spending my love today? Where is my consciousness at after meditation? And the first steps, of course, are self-awareness, quieting the mind and the emotional body. And lastly, do not look on your life as a taskmaster with accountable goals, but instead as the observer of the soul's unfoldment, and greet each day with joyful and grateful expectation, anticipation of what is yet to be revealed to you. Okay, anytime now. Well, it's not changing, I guess. I don't have the touch. There it is. Yay. Okay, and so in conclusion, I know you've heard me yammering on up here, but I'm really enjoying telling you this message, and I hope it's giving you some little spark of something to take with you, a little morsel. Remember, when we get ourselves right, it leads us to right thoughts and right words and right actions, not only for ourselves, but in service to humanity. And I say to all you light workers, carry on the work. Talk less and listen more. Namaste.